Do you guys have like the anti-earthquake proof stuff in like your cabinets? You probably should do that.
No.
It really does make a difference.
Does it?
Yeah.
What is it?
So basically, like, there's lots of different variations of it, but
Do you
like,
need it for most stuff though? I feel like it's for very specific things.
we put it on most stuff, like most of the big stuff. So like, if you have like figurine cabinets or like bookshelves, there's this like little kind of like, they look like little rubber door stoppers.
Yeah, I know what they are. I know what
You
they
put them
are.
underneath, and it completely stops the shaking from happening.
Yeah.
I wanted to get the figures to stop shaking.
Yeah, so I have them under like all of my bookshelves and figurine cabinets and stuff like that. And you know, I've seen them move in an earthquake. That shit doesn't budge. So that's really good. And also like, there's also these like little like sticky pads kind of thing that you can put on like some like figurines and stuff like that. That's
just weird that you have to like live in a country and you have to just worry about like insta death just happening. Like in the UK, like nothing kills you.
Insta-death. I mean, it's not exactly insta-death.
I was just worried. Well, I mean, it might be.
If you're in the wrong situation.
Yeah.
I mean, I suppose like we've been lucky enough to never have been in a bad earthquake. I don't know. I feel like we've never.
Don't fucking say that. Well, they've been predicting the mega quake for like a few years now in Tokyo.
Yeah.
Where there's bound to be some kind of like magnitude 8 or 9 fucking earthquake in Tokyo, and I hope to God it happens in the next 3 weeks. I'm not here.
Jesus Christ!
I bet you'll wish you were on the ground floor then, Connor.
Yeah,
that's all I'll say.
I felt like the shaking was very violent. I used to live on the 4th or 5th floor, and it used to shake really weirdly. I didn't like it. I felt like it was just high enough up where I got really fucking violent shakes.
Yeah.
I was on the 8th floor, and I think with the biggest earthquake we were in, which was the one where earthquake, the biggest earthquake we were in, which was the one where my figures fell over. I wasn't in the toilet at the time. But like,
that's the safest room to be in.
Yeah,
I was in the bath one time as well.
But that earthquake just lasted for so fucking long. It felt like it lasted for like 2 minutes or something.
At least, yeah.
Go on.
Yeah, because it just started, and like at which point, because you have to make this mental judgment of at which point do I start giving a shit?
Yeah. Well, yeah, because most of the time it's a little
because it happens so often.
Yeah, it happens so often. So I'm just like, is this the one I should start caring?
Yeah.
It's not stopping. Should I start caring now?
But also, what are you gonna do if you give a shit? Like, what am I gonna do? Just be like, oh shit, I'm worried.
Well, you have to like evacuate to your nearest evacuation point, which everyone should know when you move. Do you know where is it?
Fuck no. Well, you got to get under the door frame, right? If it's
door frame, but also like if it gets really bad, then there's like in your local town, there's usually like evacuation points.
That's
that you
normally
have to go
if like your water and shit turns off and all that is right.
No, in a lot of situations it's like earthquakes and floods and stuff like that. Yeah.
But why would you leave your house in an earthquake if it's like that's surely if it's like unstable? No.
Well, I mean, what if
the building's unstable?
Well, it's usually in the case of like if the earthquake is really powerful, that your water stops or your electricity stops, your gas.
That's what I thought. Right, it was to get like supplies and shelter.
Yeah.
Because if it's really fucking cold and your electricity turns off and
then you kind of screwed.
Which I'm kind of fucked because like I am not stocked up on any kind of emergency or disaster.
Yeah, we recently like restocked our shit, so it's like all in the front.
I've been meaning to. Been
meaning to. Yeah.
2 years now. I've been meaning to do that. I'll get around to it. I'll get around to it.
Not too late. Because I remember like for Journey Across Japan, we went to like Sakurajima, which is that like island or volcano.
The volcano one,
yeah, in Kagoshima. And I remember like 2 weeks after we left there, it fucking erupted.
Oh, wow.
And it's like, and that
Quite
entire, it was like pretty big as well. And it made me realize, I was like, oh yeah, earthquakes are like the least of my worries. Because Japan is like fucking volcanic area. There's like so many active, like Mount Fuji is a fucking active volcano.
Is it?
Yeah.
It is.
It is. It's an active volcano, and it last erupted, I think, about 250 years ago. And they're expecting it
250 years ago?
Yeah, in like the Edo period, it last erupted.
Oh.
And they're expecting it to erupt like soon.
Sick.
So I'm like, sick.
They actually did a simulation. If it erupts completely, it actually reaches all the way to Hachioji.
Oh shit!
It's still that far.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's kind of like Yellowstone, right, in America. Well, that's like one of the biggest active super volcanoes in the world.
Yeah.
And if that erupts, then it's just like kind of like the end of civilization for like a lot of people.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, because a lot of the waters at Yellowstone are like boiling hot, like the lakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Some horrifying stories of people jumping in the water, thinking that they can swim in it. And it's boiling hot.
Just get boiled alive.
That's pretty
But
grim.
I don't know when it's so bad. When do I leave my house? I don't know that. Is there like a hard guide on when to leave your house?
I mean, I'm pretty sure you'll know when you'll know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like when it gets to the point where it's like, oh, I can't be here for a multitude of reasons, then it's time to go.
Yeah, the ones that I don't really get scared of the earthquakes in Japan, but the ones that do kind of make me uncomfortable is when it starts small and it just keeps getting bigger.
Yeah.
And then you're like, when will it stop? Will it keep escalating?
Yeah.
Because when it starts off big and it doesn't get any worse, I'm like, okay, fair, okay, cool.
It's the long ones for me that
where it starts, like shakes, and you're like, please stop.
Yeah, so it's like, when is this going to peak? Where's the peak? This is the peak? No, it's not peaking yet. I just feel like it's the British in me, where you just don't take any kind of like natural disaster seriously.
I'm just like, come on, pack it in. Pack it in. Come on. All right, stop this now. Come on. I've had enough of this. I'm British. Come on.
What's a natural disaster? Come on. There's no natural disasters in the world.
So you guys don't have like any natural disasters?
No.
There's some flooding, but very light. It's not
right.
really.
Right. We have flooding here.
Like I hear like of like a weather warning in Japan. I'm just like, what the fuck's a weather warning? How can weather kill you?
My phone has been on permanent weather warning since I moved here, I'm pretty sure. But I'd love to imagine the first time like a British person like went abroad, like in like 1600s, and they're like, there's an earthquake. Like, what the fuck was that? What the fuck was that? And they're like, yeah, that happens all the time. What do you mean that happens all the time? The earth just moves?
Yeah, the earth just moves.
And you're all okay with this? You haven't asked management what's going on?
It's a living.
And then like, yeah. And sometimes the mountain explodes. The mountain explodes?
Yeah.
And fire?
Yeah.
Hell?
The mountain explodes. We get these things called typhoons.
Yeah, they're like, what do you mean lava? That's hell. That's hell coming out. We've only seen that in the books. This doesn't happen. This is nonsense.
It's 20,000 leagues under the sea.
And you accept this? This is okay with you?
It's like, what is a typhoon? It's just a bit of wind, isn't it? A bit of wind never hurt anyone.
Just a bit of rain. We get that all the time.
Just a bit of rain and wind.
What do you mean nature destroyed your house? And did you get a refund? What is all this?
What is a tsunami? It's just a wave, isn't it? Yeah,
swim in that.
Yeah, when we think about it, Japan really is like world number one when it comes to like the variety of fucking things that can kill you in nature.
Yeah.
Like we really do have everything.
Because I remember before, like I moved out of England, you'd hear about these disasters that happened all the way on the other side of the world, right? Like the Japan tsunami, which was like an awful tragedy that happened, and you just it never quite sank in.
Yeah, it never felt real.
Like how bad it was. Like I remember just before we moved to Japan, where like you guys were having like super bad typhoons, and like the videos that came out just looked super bad, and I was just like, it still doesn't sink into me that it's just this bad here in Japan.
Yeah.
As a British person, because I've just never experienced it IRL in real life. Like it's never just happened right in front of me.
It really is like completely different. Like you could watch like hundreds of videos on it, and the one that you've actually experienced in real life is like unlike anything you would ever imagine. It's like those typhoons look bad. It's 100 times worse in real life.
Watching like earthquakes from like the 2011 earthquake is like really fucking weird.
It's fucking terrifying, dude.
Yeah, just seeing like people, just everything shaking super violently. I'm like, oh gosh.
And just like the water level rising and shit is like terrifying. That happened 10 years ago, man.
That's weird.
Damn, time flies.
2011.
Holy shit! I was still in university.
To be fair, though, I would gladly take volcanoes if we can get onsens. I'd stick a volcano somewhere in Wales. I will have an onsen.